Fantasia Comic Studio turns into Fantasia Comic Studio around here. So welcome back right here into this thing as well. And because like for in the previous videos for around Fantasia Comic Studio, that old characters have been replaced afterwards being getting rid of like this thing as well. The older videos of Fantasia Comic Studio wasn't probably for just exist around here as well. We wouldn't able to be showing up for some drafts because some sort of sexual content is going on out here. And probably that we're not gonna be making sure. So probably welcome back to Fantasia Comic Studio, and it has been updated for replacement all of the characters into something new as well to cover the way from the inappropriacy as anyways. So that definitely removed for some sort of like that much, and I completely possess for some sort of like this because I cannot believe for some sort of saying for some sort of like this. If I just probably say like the R word, and I'm not going to read to do this, it stands for R34GTR, and this isn't gonna be even possible as the car and the unknown puberty, as I'm not gonna be probably sure. As we going to be checking out for some characters that I reviewed, was absolutely changed into something pretty new as well. As we're taking a look at those, all of the characters as well, probably that completely changed and replaced into something new that redraws something and that doesn't going to be quite whatever that I'm never going to be supposed to doing like I just tried as well. Even it's absolutely going to be the same names, and the submitted sprites of some sort of like this wasn't probably exist for some sort of the old content was actually a little bit inappropriate as well. But they are absolutely completely fixed for something new as eliminating inappropriacy. As we looked at characters, could be for some like anything as well. The characters could be Makuro, Yukari, Shroomy, Yumi, Jokichi, Charlotte, Akaya, Paris, Diane, Sakura, Rosalie, Alyssa, Iris, Luyo, Misa, and Taruko. Which is probably for some sort of like this. I'm gonna be trying to review for this thing as well. And exactly nothing inappropriate for these things as well isn't going to be for some sort of like I say. It was developed by like this thing as well. And it was probably owned by Harmony 7, which is absolutely switched the character for some sort of an unknown reasons. As we're going to be for using for the custom sprites, am I going to be using for the studio crossovers itself. So, let's review for one of the characters itself and probably taking a look at this thing as well. Unless she covers for one thing as well. Her new clothes could be for round itself, for such as a red clothes like themselves, and she covers around for this some sort of an unknown puberty. And what does next page could be exactly how it is going to be to do this as well, and turns into an evil monster as well. But absolutely that says Makura is a mysterious being who seems to keep herself in a low profile. She wants to build by Yumi, in a 14-year-old girl who want nothing but revenge of the royal family. So she built the robot and she called Maguru. Also, she's using it as a human she killed as a host to look more like human. And yes, the same description goes to all of the characters, and it's absolutely for other kinds of stuff. Another one could be for round exactly completely changed into something unusual. that the skirt has covered up for her legs. And another one, this is a creator note, I know I drew her evil eye wrong. This is absolutely for not only one thing, it's the same as this thing as well. That even is absolutely for a little bit of a mistake. And yes, Meguri is the other schemes that killing Yakari barely knows about killings and he only knows about the stealing and the other stuff. So that is absolutely for one thing. The same goes to for some sort of like this. It was going to be the same description for other kinds of like this, but even though that turns into a mushroom or a poison mushroom like this, Shroomy is an incredible skilled Pomeranian who carries bombs anywhere goes despite any into Ali Maguri. She never listens to her orders and find out how to get the job done with this super chaotic nature. Her mushroom bombs will kill anybody they hit, and she is horrible aim. So best to stay far. The best thing is to stay far a little bit for this thing as well. Her bombs could be for like this, and almost, and it's not probably related to Mario reference. And I'm never probably seeing this thing as well, that saying that her legs isn't going to be for about to do this as well. So Yume was probably betrayed for this thing as well. That she wanted revenge on the royal family, which means that she is going to be for targeting all of their families like themselves and eliminated them all and turns into a world of murder drones. I never believed that she's turned into some sort of suspect like this. And another one could be for around like this. So this isn't going to be for such as a little bit anyways as well. So this is actually from the noise like this. I'm not sure. We review like any characters as well. And many more. And a whole bunch of things as well. But all characters have just changed. But the same description could be for around like this thing. The maids and the murdered versions, or some sort of the incident versions, have turned into some kind of controlled by Makuro, and many other things as well. So some sort of like those things is going to be create a lot of noise. Even in Kukuban faces like this, I'm not probably sure. She was believed this isn't going to be to do this to say for one thing as well. So this isn't going to be for some kind of like this. That result was probably being removed or replaced for the appropriate version. So this isn't going to be for some sort of the descriptions change. That quite the cold-hearted queen is rumored that she was executed as a pleasant jest for entering her quarters. She was divorced by the king as well, but I'm not pretty sure. It could be from Dinoco. Not anyways, a duchess from another country visiting the kingdom. And I never pretty sure that wasn't going to be for exactly why. There must be 4 more that could be for around for this one as Iris. It was probably appeared for just literally to do this as well. That she lost her sprites while adding them, so they were added backwards. As I'm not pretty sure that we've seen here from Wayback Machine. He's a very annoying jester who bullies Meguro specifically. And I kind of believe this isn't going to be for this thing as well. This is a illegal clown as well. And another one is Missa. And it's one of the guards in charge of the castle cameras, watching for doing something illegally. If you're near a camera that Missa will identifying, will be monitoring you. But she is not a night guard, and probably she was watching on for her surveillance cameras. And finally, a 35-year-old journalist who has silently been watching Yakuri, Meguro, and Shroomy for the past year, despite the fact he doesn't have enough to prove to stay out, or to go out and say they're up to no good. He's still waiting, or he's still watching them carefully, and notice everything he sees, with the help of Charlotte. Unless he tried to call the police like themselves that before. That was all of the characters and characters like themselves for the descriptions, or change descriptions like anything as well. And probably it's absolutely for some sort of like this. And Paris known to a huge crush of the king, so much that she killed the queen with Sally to make the king divorce her to just marry him. And I cannot believe that she is probably a murderer for this thing as well. The Rosaline was actually, for one thing, she wasn't able to become a mother like anything as well. The items could be knives and roses, but this is absolutely quietly disturbing. And the same Cookie Run sprites like this wasn't actually like probably for themselves as well. Unless they have changed to their selves as for this thing as well. From the anime sprites. I never believe this isn't going to be the same as this thing as well. And the probably regular show or Steven Universe reference out of this background, and many more that cannot believe it. I have not believed it for itself. And what is absolutely the most disturbing is actually for... Oh my gosh, this is absolutely showing her for this a little bit for one thing as well. Unless she has robot spider legs to sabotage everyone and destroy their lives down all the way for around here. So that is the entire replacement of all characters in Fantasia or Fantasia Comic Studio, and it's going to be linked in the description below, and that won't be easy as well. That the link is going to be in the description below, as we're seeing their replacement for some sort of like this. I won't be able to be added for some kind of like this, unless that was absolutely for one thing as well. You're going to be at the age of 18 to check it out of this comic studio around here. But it's also disturbing as hell, and I was not interested in anime for some times as well. So, thanks again for watching, and I'm gonna see you all later in another video as well. I'll catch you mini lads and comic studio users next time, and have a nice day. So thanks for watching again, that I just completely saying about for other kinds of things as well, whenever.